To be honest, we weren't really surprised with the budget. It's quite a conservative budget and there's nothing really substantially shocking or worrying, so that's quite good. In general as well, most of the changes there are not big ones that affect businesses. The good things that we've always pushing for is to keep consistent fixed costs, to keep them as low as possible, and a good thing is we don't have raise in social insurance, which we have had just a few months ago. We haven't got any raises in electricity and water or rates either, so that's all good for business. So we're quite happy about that. Obviously there's a raise in minimum wage, which does affect some members, but that we've kind of grown to expect that, so nothing really shocking.
The initial analysis, we would say that we're very happy with it, but very concerned of the contradiction between what government are telling us and what opposition are telling us as well. Because we're not talking about a few hundred or thousand. We have our opposition saying that there's 771 million in deficit, and our government are saying we have surplus. So we just want more transparency and understanding, because we're not gurus. You know, most of us are just normal working people and we're not financial gurus or mathematicians. So I know that you can play around with statistics.
Unite has valued the budget very positively in respect to the provisions that are contained therein. The items which we see most favourably are the ones that relate in respects to trade union recognition in the private sector and pensions in the private sector. Ultimately, these are items which will affect predominantly the private sector, but it's an area which we feel that has been forgotten for quite some time. Now, in respects to trade union recognition, nobody in Gibraltar can be stopped from joining a union. But it is the case that employers are not forced to recognise the union as the representative organisation of the employee or the workforce. With legislation in place, that will be stopped. Now, in respects to pensions in the private sector, it's a positive avenue whereby individuals will now be able to contribute, in addition to the employer, towards their own pension pot within the private sector again.
Very, very happy that there's a 75.8 million surplus. Extremely pleased that the government has confirmed that there will be an 8.9% growth in the coming year, because obviously what's good for Gibraltar and what's good for the economy is good for the workers in Gibraltar.
The reality is that we will see how this implementation is planned, because it's more to do now on working hard to ensure that it's done properly and that there's no shortfall to teachers and to children.
Initially, we think it's a very good budget. It gives us a lot of faith in the future and for our children's children. We're very happy with the fact of the co-education, which is a big thing that the Women's Association have been fighting for. The fact that there's hot school meals.
The reality with regards to co-education is that it's something that was originally planned for 1970 when comprehensive education was supposed to be introduced in Gibraltar, and it's taken about 50 years to get to the point where the government or a government has decided to go forth with a project.
Things which we obviously fully subscribe to, the issue in respects to co-education in schools. We believe that it's not effectively just about education as in, grades that are made, but what actually the individual comes as an individual into society as a consequence of relating to their peers through this very crucial period of time. In addition to what was discussed in respects to the marriage amendment law, where now obviously we have couples of same sexes coming into marriage.
One of the big gripes that we've got is that civil service posts are being covered, vacant posts are being covered by supply workers on far inferior terms and conditions. This is very different to supply workers covering long-term sick or maternity, and what we're finding is that actual vacant posts are being covered, and that's something that we've always said that we have a very big problem with. And what we're hoping is that this the wonderful news of this budget will serve as an impetus to eradicate the problem.